Welcome to the Modern Sports Show, home of your college athlete, where we are player-led and player-focused. Guys, we are back tonight with a Texas versus Ohio State game review. I feel like I ain't seen you all in such a long time, so I'm back tonight, getting back on schedule. We're going to start the week off right. I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. I know I did. Got to spend some time with some family. Got to be with some loved ones and just kind of hang out. No work, was off work, so that's a blessing always. But over the weekend, we got some very good games. I was able to watch some I wasn't able to watch. But for the ones that I did catch, I enjoyed that also. Drop it in the comments what games you watched, who were your favorite players this weekend, what were some of your favorite moments. That was fun to see. But on this particular episode tonight, we're going to be going over Texas versus Ohio State. Coming into this game, obviously me being an SEC guy, I wanted Texas to go on the road and win. Texas obviously goes on the road last year. We're able to squeeze out a win against Ohio State. Against Michigan. So that was they were testing on the road, but this season, uh, just a lot of new faces. Obviously, Arch taking over at quarterback, and I want to say the offensive line kind of has some changes, and I know the defensive line has some changes this season also. So that was I would say to start this game, it was very let me go back. To start this game, it was very defensive. I think both defenses did a good job at uh, kind of eliminating what the offense, what the other team was good at offensively. Um, but I would just say for Texas, I think Arch Manning, he just had a tough day at the office. I kind of expected more out of him. And I would say this is to all the Texas fans out there who were very adamant about getting rid of Quinn Ewers, right? Always, always, always be careful what you wish for, because just because a guy is coming in with a lot of hype, that does not necessarily mean or translate to that player being good or panning out immediately when they get their opportunity. And so for me, I think Art still is going to have a great season. I think he's going to learn from this. I think he'll grow from this. But I do think he got put in the fire early, especially against that Ohio State defense. That defense, right? Obviously, they have Matt Patricia at their defensive coordinator position or defensive coordinator, and he's coming into college football with a lot of NFL schemes. I know we heard a lot of people talking about that over the weekend. So Arch Manning, with this being his first true college, like that first start, because obviously he got some starts last year when Quinn Ewers went down, but for him to come in against this Ohio State defense and kick his season off like that, that's a tough ask for anybody. So let's just jump right into this. And like I said, this is going to probably be the format that we record in over the course of the season. It makes it a little bit easier for me to pump content out and get it to you versus having to go back and record and then edit and do all that good stuff. So it just makes it a little bit more efficient for me. But I am going to get back on a more consistent basis, being able to get the content out to you. So I look forward to it. Long season. We're going to have a great season on TMSS, giving you our takes, giving you our opinions, giving you all that good stuff. Let's jump right into it. Okay. All right. So Texas coming into Ohio State territory on the road at Ohio Stadium. This was a very big, big moment to start the season off. So here, like I said, I don't think when Arch Manning was throwing a lot of these balls early in the game, he had a lot of confidence. I don't feel like he had a lot of confidence. And I think Steve Sarkisian did a good job for what he's known to do, which is just create, separation, create space for some of his key playmakers. And I don't think much changed from this game to those in the past. Arch Manning just didn't have a lot of confidence throwing the ball, right? These are just pitch and catch type of plays. Arch Manning got a hit on those. Dirt ball. And I would say up until about mid to late third quarter, this Texas offense really just had no rhythm. I think Ohio State did a good job, as you can see there, with a good vice tackle and just flying to the ball. Just flying to the ball. And I think this Texas offense just they're gonna have to reestablish themselves this season because they lose so much. You lose Matthew Golden to the Green Bay Packers. You lose Quinn Ewers also to the NFL. You lose Jaden Blue, who was a key contributor last year to the transfer portal. You lose Gunnar Helm, right, to the NFL also. So it's just a lot of key contributors last season that this Texas offense is going to have to account for. Like I said, this Ohio State defense just did a good job. And to the other side, so Julian Sand, right? Julian Sand, I think, and this is kind of my thoughts on it. I think Julian Sand, he came in and established himself how we thought Arch was going to do. I know for me, I didn't expect Julian to come in and be as poised, be as in control, to be as uh just he was making the throws. He didn't try to do too much. But they did say that Ryan Day, that was something that he attributed to him. He didn't make a lot of mistakes even through OTAs and fall camp. And so he just spoke about how sharp Sam was. And Sam went out here and he had a great game. Like he did everything he needed to do for this Ohio State team to beat a good Texas defense. Like making just those kind of throws, and obviously you got to catch that. My tight end there, he has to catch that, but just doing what he's supposed to be doing, just making the right throws. All right, let's just get into some film here though. All right, so we're gonna have a little motion return. Get past this. Okay, so here we're gonna just have a little motion return. They're lined up in 11 personnel set. Get that down a little bit. Lined up in the 11 personnel set right here. We got Jeremiah Smith in the slot, right? We noticed, and that was something that they spoke about. So last year in the Cotton Bowl, Jeremiah Smith had one catch for 3 yards. And Ryan Day spoke about how well Texas defense did eliminating him from the in that game, right? Whether it was bracketing him, whether it was playing a shell, man, whatever they needed to do to get him off his game, that's what they did. And so I think combatively this season, Ryan Day is going to be doing more stuff like this to not allow teams to be like you got a condensed set, a condensed split to the field with Jeremiah Smith in the boundary, or excuse me, in the field, but in the slot. And so, and then obviously here I want to say this is Cardinal Tate. So stuff like that, just to try to create those mismatches for Jeremiah Smith to get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Defensively for Texas, okay, we're running just a simple 4-2-5 defense, 4 down linemen, our backers, 1, 2. We got a guy over here that's 3, 4, 5. Simple 4-2-5 concept defensively. 2 high safeties, so more often than not they're in a cover 2 defense. Quick game, right? Like we just spoke about. How can we get our playmakers the ball? Jeremiah Smith, get it to him now. And I think that's just what this game, especially early, came down to for Ohio State. Gonna see this little counter right here. Oh, here, this play right here, this next play, I'm sorry. Just gonna have a simple counter. Wish I could. I'm sorry, Fox Sports kind of quick in how they cut these plays. Okay, so you're gonna have a 3 to the field. This tight end, he's coming in for a split zone look, but we know our rules in terms of. Let's see, we know our rules. Okay, what are we doing right now? It's Browns. We know our rules just in terms of what we're doing. If we see a guard pull, got this guard right here just pulling over, coming to kick. Then we got this here. And so with that being said, just a simple Y counter. Just a simple Y counter. But this Texas defense does a good job right here. Yeah. Texas defense does a good job right there on that play. Just spilling these blocks. So this guy right here is going to create this collision. Does a very good job. Does a tremendous job not getting kicked out. And then we also got a good read by this linebacker right here. Coming in, he's going to shoot this gap. This new this new B gap. And that's where that play is going to be made. And even if he hadn't, right, you got this guy here, does a good job in his block destruction. And he's there to clean it up, even if they don't make this tackle here in the backfield. So just a good job all around from Texas defense. And this guy, Liao, is number 18. I'm not sure about, what his track record is at Texas. But he made a few key plays in that game. I was paying attention. Look at this pressure. Look at this pressure. So ball is in the boundary right now. And I like I really like the pre-snap look as is. I like this pressure, this chop. Okay. So here, right, like, and just think about it defensively, right? So we got 3 down linemen, okay, and then all our backers are pretty much tucked. These guys are tucked right there on that outside, on those outside hips of each defensive lineman, right? So of course Julian here is like, where are they coming from? What are we thinking right now, right? We got man here. Probably got some type of split field coverage on this side. I'm just thinking of depth with these guys versus depth here, as well as depth here. And I'm sure this guy's job is going to be to get somewhat of a chip on this number 2 receiver. And we got middle of the field closed right now. So I'm thinking maybe some type of cover 3 concept, maybe a cover 1 high. Um, let's just watch it all play out. But like I said, these guys, they do a great job at disguising this pressure. We got, at this point, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy looks like he might be reading. I don't think he's fully committed. And like I said, he's gonna get hands on too. Sorry about that. Let's just watch it play out again. Guys do a great job just getting to the ball. And I tell you what, like, look at these dudes here on this interior defense and watch how they read and react to this screen. Soon as they feel absence, look at these guys. Key these 2 guys, or these 3 guys at least. Browns. Look at these. Look at this. You see these 3 guys? Watch these 3 guys right here. And how as soon as they feel, watch this, boom. Or 2 at least. They almost ran over each other they almost ran over each other to get out there. Wonder why it does that. Either which way. And then at this point, they're just getting to the ball. Hot blitz. Now I think number 1, he does a good job on his pressure, but I feel like he could have got there even a little sooner if he took more of a flat angle. And you're gonna see it from this back view, but watch how he kind of takes a step or 2 outside his path to the quarterback. See that bend he does? I think if he gets there more in a straight line, he's able to get there a little bit faster. And then this is just what they did. This is what this Ohio State defense did throughout the entirety of this game. They just made it very uncomfortable for Arch Manning. He was never really able to get into a rhythm over the course of the game. And I think that just made it hard on him. And I just really enjoy and appreciate the chess match that this game was, uh, for a majority of it, just defensively, right? Both sides of the ball has studs. I know this Texas defensive, especially the secondary, is loaded with guys. Um, and just going up against these Ohio State receivers, and then you add each defensive coordinator into the mix, and it was just it was good football this day. And so I think it was a great test, even for this Texas team, even though they lost. I think it was a great test for them early in the season. It's going to be a long year. So they still have plenty of opportunity to learn from this and continue to grow as a team. It's pressure. Now, I will say, I think there were a lot of drops offensively for this Ohio State team, a little bit more than we're accustomed to seeing normally. But, um, I mean, like I just said, Texas defensive backs, a very good tandem. And I'll tell you this too. Another something that I loved or love about Texas defense is how well they communicate pre-snap. I watched a lot of games or a lot of film from them, and a lot of times pre-snap guys are talking. Everybody's making sure they're on the same page. So as soon as the ball is snapped, everyone knows their assignments. I will say, I think a lot of times offensive. I think the game just favors the offense far too often sometimes. Far too often. Because there were a few plays with Jeremiah Smith. He got handsy, he got physical. He's a bigger wide receiver. That's fine. But when you get back physical with him like that, the refs start throwing flags. They don't want to see it. So, that's just what the game is today. But gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, we're gonna go with the 7-man pro right here. All right, we got these two tight ends in the core. That's gonna make it 21 personnel. Then we got another condensed split from Carnell Tate to this last man on the line of scrimmage. And this guy right here, I think he's a West Virginia transfer, if I'm not mistaken. So they liked him a lot in the offseason. Okay. Simple split zone. Or actually, we won't even call that. Can't call that a split zone. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just going over my zone scheme, my gap rules, and stuff like that. Okay. It's actually a counter because we're going to have this tackle pull or this guard pull. So, yeah, so this guard and Y, they're going to pull this counter. Got to continue to learn. Yeah, that's all that was. Look at this though. Third down stop. Look at these guys right here, man. Look at these guys. Look, third down stop. Boom. Just look at these guys celebrate, man. Look at the morale. That's what we love to see, man. Third down stop. Heels on the goal line. But I remember seeing this in real time. And this linebacker here does a great job at shooting his gap. Does a great job at shooting his gap. But you got to see what you're hitting. Got to see what you're hitting, man. I want to say that's Robert Hill Jr. I tell you what, though, he does a good job taking out this lead blocker, blowing this up. And this other backer here, he just has to continue to fold because that's his tackle to make. Yeah, that's all that was. Head was down. Couldn't see what he was hitting. Let's cue him this play. This guy right here. Got to be mean him right there. Just got to, it's just mano y mano at that point. Yeah, right there. And I think his momentum is what actually kind of carried him, allowed him to drift, just trying to work down here. And that's why they say football, man, such a game of inches. Every finite, just every inch, every piece of grass has importance. All right, we're gonna see a little Q counter right here. We got to get so well at these run plays, cause that's really it, man. I could speak for me. I know all the back end stuff for the most part, coverages. I know coverage rules. We know gap assignment, run fits. We know all that. A lot of it is just IDing the offense and what they're doing. So we know as defenders how to fit off of what they're doing, how to read what gap, whatever the case might be. Because especially as it becomes more complex, you get into these offenses like Georgia Tech's and these option teams who are capable of kind of having a multiple offense, and that's when it becomes a little bit more tricky to stop. But if you know these basic rules, and granted, guys, not making any of this up, like digging in my archive, look at this type of stuff every day, right? Just my rules in terms of zone scheme, gap scheme, everything that you need to know from the standpoint of, and this was my stuff from when I was at Kentucky. All right, this is like a piece out of my playbook. So just staying up to date on these rules, staying sharp on this kind of stuff, take you a long way, especially for what our goals are in life. So we're gonna have a Q counter. I think here, Arts does a good job kind of reading his holes, just getting skinny right here. Just getting a few yards. So right here, they're gonna come right back to that. Is it right back to that counter? I see in this game, right? They really like that. Both teams, they like that counter. Quick game. Let's look at Ohio State's defense right here. Okay. So here we're gonna start off in a 1, 2, 3, 4-man front. Just in a simple 4-3 defense. 1, 2, 3. It looks like we're gonna be pretty much man, man, man. This guy would have been man, I'm quite certain. His guy went away, so that meant he had a razor. This guy's just looking for anything coming back to him, i.e., this guy here, or even this guy. Got this guard pulling right now. Then this guy, his guy, here's the tackle. He's a free man. So, and I like him too, number 0 for the most part. I think his name is Sonny Styles. And I'm glad that I thought of this. This Ohio State defense, in a lot of ways, reminds me of SEC defense. I mean, you obviously got SEC experience on the back end with Caleb Downs, but just the physicality in which they played, I was like looking a little SEC ish. So that was kind of interesting to note. And I think at this point in the game too, I think with a few of the throws that we saw Arch make, um, it was just one of those things. I think Sarkisian here was going quick game and just really trying to get the run game involved to get Arch to be comfortable, to try to build some rhythm, try to build some momentum, kind of get him into the flow of the game, just so he can stop thinking and play faster. How you gonna like just tricky though? Like, let's look at this. So they're gonna motion out of duo. Look, next play. Now gonna motion out of a trips look from the field, or somewhat, some more from the boundary. Gonna come on this jet sweep. Really running a counter, almost like a counter-ish RPO with a quick screen. Try to get the ball hit around Wingo. Round Wingo with the number change too. I see. I thought he was still number 5, but him with the number change. Arch just beating the guy on the edge, and he actually picked up this first down. He actually picked up this first down, so that was he did a good job beating the guy on the edge, just beating him with speed, out leveraging him. Yeah, let's look at this sack right here. So again, pre-snap, right? Just the odd pre-snap formations. And I saw another thing too is what Matt Patricia did against Arch was he created, or he aligned the DBs up on a similar level to kind of give Arch a hard time identifying whether it's too high or middle of the field open, middle of the field closed, like just playing with the alignment of his DBs and stuff like that. Especially somebody is kind of inexperienced and is young. Arch has only seen so much. So, like I was saying, you got Caleb Downs playing almost a wide nine technique. You got a safety here, kind of just camped out in the middle of the field. You got Sonny Styles. Well, I'll tell you what, you almost got these two guys like just mugged up, almost mugged up in the B gap, AB gap. Just a lot going on in this play right here. Okay. Then they just do a good job, man. Just bringing pressure. And the Joel Klatt talked about this move right here. Let's pay attention to this field linebacker. Or no. Let's pay attention to this boundary backer. This guy right here. And that's the benefit of having an NFL defensive coordinator coming back to coach you, because it's these small nuances of the game, right, that allow you to play better, allow you to make more plays, play faster, but also catch your opponent slipping. Okay. So just watch this guy. We're gonna go back. Then I'm gonna pause it for you because I want you to pay special attention to what this guy does to get this guard to fall asleep just long enough for him to come on this delayed blitz. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna half turn as if he's gonna be running out here in coverage or something like that. And he does that just that half or that split second he does that. This guard immediately takes eyes off. Okay, let me find work and help my tackle right here. Man, you gotta love this game, man. Yeah. So just watch, cue this guy. Just long enough, man. He did that just long enough and then comes away with the sack. And I'm sure they work on that in practice. Just long enough to get this guard's eyes off of him. Then he does a good job, just speed to rush, speed to power. Gonna move this guy. Make a play on Arch. That was just a beautiful play defensively, man. Like, that was just all around beautiful defensive play. Finish it up. Oof. Look at this. Look at these guys. They can run into each other. Look at these guys running to each other. But this was a pivotal down in the game. I feel like Texas here had the opportunity to kind of, especially with the way Arch was struggling, had the opportunity to flip the field off of special teams, right? You got 3rd and 3. You got them pinned up, towards their own end zone. If you can get off the field with a stop right here, you open the game up so much more for your offense. So, but unfortunately, just couldn't do it. Couldn't get off the field. And Muhammad is actually one of their better defensive backs. So, but Carnell Tate, he's a guy too. Man. Uh-oh. That might be my cue though, guys. Might be my cue. Let's get a couple more plays and we're gonna call it a night. And as I watch this, man, I just miss football. I miss playing it so much, man. I miss playing it, and it's so crazy. It's like now I understand the game so much better than I understood it when I was actually playing it. Like I try to tell these young guys, like just become a student of the game. Understand it. Understand angles. Understand leverage. Understand coverages. Understand your assignments. Right. Understand the foundation, the foundational principles of the game. Understand why you do what you do. Why is the coach asking me to do this? Because when you understand those things, it's going to act or enable you to play so much faster. Just simply knowing what you're doing. But even if you don't know what you're doing, play fast. Because good things happen when you play fast. When you're out there timid, when you have going, right, won't happen. That's a big hit. Mm. But this Ohio State defense, the one thing that I always say I love is just I like to see, especially on the back end. I like to see generals, dudes who you can tell like they know their stuff. They move with a certain kind of command over themselves, but also over the defense in general. And they make checks. They're talking, they're communicating. They just got a little a different swagger. So I like to see those guys in the defense. And when you have a collective unit of those kind of guys, you'll have a very good defense over the course of the season. So I want to say, and even Earl Little Jr. We're gonna be dropping some more film reviews. I'm gonna continue to find ways to make it more engaging, interesting, um, and to just continue to deliver a better quality product each time I get on. However, Earl Little Jr. That's a name I want to throw in there. Had a great game this weekend against Alabama. Played with a chip on his shoulder. I said that he makes that unit very special over the course of this season if he continues to play that way. He just was a headhunter, and I enjoy watching that brand of football, especially nowadays and age when you got guys who, even those on the defensive side of the ball who need that kind of that demeanor, right? They just don't have it. So it was refreshing to see someone just play the game like they love it, especially on the defensive side. Everybody want the glitz and the glamour, the flash and the fame, being an offensive receiver, running back, quarterback, all this. But those special teams are gonna have dudes on defense who can fly around and make plays too, and they get their money in the NFL. That's when they get their payday. But aside from that, guys, this is all we're gonna watch or go through tonight. I'm definitely gonna be dropping more of these throughout the course of the week and adding a little bit more context to it too. Tonight we just mainly talked about the game, but um, I'm gonna do my due diligence to have stats and stuff like that to kind of incorporate into these conversations and lives, and even just the scheduling and stuff like that, so I can tell you kind of what I think about how these teams will fare the rest of the season. So I appreciate you all for watching. If you haven't, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I'll interact, go back and forth with you. Um, but lastly, like I said, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you comment on this video. Let me know what games you want to see next. If not, I got more coming to you just based on the games I watched this weekend. You all have a great evening.